Today is May 1st, 2025, Thursday. I'm 19 at the moment. My birthday is June 1st. That means 30 days away from now, I'll be on this earth for 2 decades. Also, meaning that this is my last year being a teenager. I know that everyone doesn't really expect you to have all things figured out at 19, but I think I set that expectation for myself. Coming from a family that expected achievements at a higher quality, I always had to try my hardest to adapt to that. There are times that I feel like there was little room for mistake, but I'm realizing now that mistakes take up the most room. I want to start by saying that I'm filming this for whoever may feel the same way, whoever probably doesn't feel the same way, but just needed something to click on. This is for my future daughter if I do have one, in hopes that she'll see that there was a time where her mom was literally in a terrible situation and that she would literally be okay, but it just doesn't feel like anything is going to be okay right now. My first thing to say is that I messed up. And I think I messed up pretty bad because I didn't want the guidance more so that I didn't have it. I have the resources to succeed, but at times it feels like the resources are decisions that are already made for me, and that I won't be able to make my own decisions if I use those resources. I know how that may sound because if you use a tool, you have to choose to use the tool, but for me, it didn't look that way at first. If you know me, you know that I've always been very sensitive and very soft hearted, and while I will quite literally put a bug over me growing up, even in lifetime now. And I know that people see that because they do take advantage of it, and I let them take advantage of it. I've become so used to people taking advantage of my kindness that I allowed it to happen and just assumed that it's just something that everyone does. I watched my mom be kind to people who would quite literally spit in her face constantly, and maybe that's where most of my decisions roll from. But I can't blame my mom because I'm old enough to make my decisions, and that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what got me into the situation that I'm in right now. That's exactly the reason why I'm filming this right now. I made a mistake 2 months ago. It's not a mistake that I regret, but it's a mistake that led me into the feeling that I have now. I made a mistake with the boy that I thought was really top of the charm of everything. For some reason, I thought that this boy would be my end piece, the person to give me anything that I've ever wanted in a relationship, when he told me multiple times that that wasn't there. Even though I met him in a time where I personally was not mentally all the way there because of things that were happening in my life, rather it be school or just friendships, even though I met him at a time where he wasn't at the very typical top of things either, I still wanted to be there. That was my mistake. Realizing that, realizing that life is not one big dizzy story. That if you help out the boy that may need it the most, or even a friend that really needs you to be there, it's not always going to turn out okay. And this is the stuff that I know but doesn't really play to action until things actually aren't okay and it feels like a big flyer just blew up in my face. He told me who he was multiple times, whether it was subliminal or straightforward from my perspective. And I know that, but I guess in most of the times I felt like he danced around circles on telling me who he was. But all in all, I made the mistake to trust a character that I romanticized on my own. And I did at the end. I did know what he was about for the most part, even though there were times where I thought that this is something that can be changed. And I know deep down that you cannot change anyone, but I just thought that putting myself in a position where I just thought that I could be there would change how he felt about me. And I can't help with that changing process. And yet I still continued to make the decisions I did when he told me that changing is not something that he wants to do right now. To sum it up, all in all, he was my 19 theory. If you know what that is, then you know that it's something that really felt very soul crushing because Quite literally, all of this happened yesterday, the last day of April, and today is May 1st, and it hasn't even been 24 hours since this happened. I'll either put the 19th theory in the description, or maybe you could look it up, because I want this video to be less than 10 minutes long, because I plan to make a video every day. I'll just say that the situation has me at a stopping stone at life that's making me rethink a lot of things. I just think that I don't know where I'm going to be 30 days from now, but if I record every day, especially coming from this time that this is the last month of me being a teenager ever in my lifetime, that it will make me feel better about certain things. And because I'm tearing up, that's the end of the video topic. I'm sorry that it was so subliminally said, but I genuinely had nothing more to add to this.